2,000 ships, 400 canoes filled with gold, 60,000 men. All of them sailed into the Atlantic Ocean, and none of them ever came back. This is the true story of Abu Bakr II, the king who gave up the richest throne in the world to chase a dream. A king who believed there was something beyond the ocean, something worth leaving everything behind for. His younger brother, Mansa Musa, took the throne after he disappeared, and Musa became the richest man in history. So rich that when he traveled to Mecca, he crashed the entire economy of Egypt just by spending money. But before Musa became a legend, there was Abu Bakr, the obsessed king, the dreamer, the man who vanished into the sea. And today, I'm going to tell you what really happened.
Let's go back to the year 1311 in the Mali Empire. This was not just any empire. This was the richest, most powerful kingdom in the entire world at that time. Mali controlled the gold mines of West Africa, and back then, gold was everything. It was money, it was power, it was respect. European kings were fighting wars over gold. Arab merchants were traveling thousands of miles just to get a little bit of gold. But Mali had so much gold that they didn't know what to do with it all. And sitting on the throne of this golden empire was a young king named Abu Bakr II. He had everything a man could want: palaces made of stone and gold, hundreds of wives, thousands of servants, an army so strong that no one dared to attack Mali. He was the most powerful man in Africa. But Abu Bakr had a problem. He was bored. Not the kind of bored where you are sitting at home with nothing to do. The kind of bored where you have everything and it means nothing. Every morning he would wake up in his palace in Niani, the capital of Mali. Servants would bring him breakfast, roasted meat, fresh fruit, honey, the best food in the kingdom. But it tasted like dust. He would sit in his throne room and listen to people's problems. A farmer complaining about his neighbor stealing his goat? A merchant asking for permission to trade in another city? Boring, so boring. His advisors would give him reports. "My king, we collected this much gold this month. We sold this many slaves. Abu Bakr would wave them away. "I don't care. Tell me something interesting." But there was nothing interesting. Not anymore. Because when you have everything, nothing excites you. One day, Abu Bakr was sitting in his palace, staring out the window, when he noticed something strange in the sky. Birds, hundreds of them, flying west, flying toward the ocean. He watched them until they disappeared beyond the horizon. And he wondered, where are they going? What's out there beyond the water?
Abu Bakr called for his scholars, the wisest men in the empire, the ones who had studied the stars, the maps, the ancient books. "Tell me," he said, "what is beyond the ocean?" The scholars looked at each other nervously. "My king," one of them said carefully, "the ocean is the end. There is nothing beyond it. Just water. Water that goes on forever." But Abu Bakr didn't believe them. "How do you know?" he challenged. "Have you been there? Have you sailed across it?" The scholars shook their heads. "Then you don't know," Abu Bakr said. "You're just guessing." He became obsessed with the idea. He would spend hours in the royal library, reading old maps, studying reports from Arab travelers who had sailed along the coast of Africa. Some of these travelers talked about islands far out in the ocean, islands with strange people, strange animals, strange plants. If there are islands, Abu Bakr thought, then there must be land. And if there's land, there's more to discover, more to see, more to rule. His wife, the queen, tried to talk sense into him. My husband, why are you thinking about the ocean? You are the king of Mali. You have everything here. Why do you want to leave? Abu Bakr looked at her with eyes full of something she had never seen before. Hunger. Because this is not enough, he said quietly. I want to see what's beyond the edge of the world. I want to know what's out there. I want to be the first to reach it. But what if there's nothing? She asked. He smiled. Then at least I'll know.
Abu Bakr started planning the first voyage. He ordered his shipbuilders to create a fleet, not small fishing boats, real ships, big ones, strong ones, the kind that could survive the powerful waves of the Atlantic Ocean. It took 2 years to build them. 200 ships and 400 canoes, smaller boats that could move faster and explore shallow waters. He filled these ships with food, dried meat, grain, water stored in clay pots, enough supplies to last for years. Then he selected his best sailors, men who had experience navigating the rivers of Mali, men who were brave, men who were loyal. Abu Bakr instructed his admiral to sail the Atlantic and to not return until he found the far side of the ocean or unless they exhausted all of their resources. 200 ships, 400 canoes, 2,000 men, all of them sailing west, into the unknown. The people of Mali stood on the shore and watched until the ships disappeared beyond the horizon. Several years passed before any of the boats from the voyage returned. Only one boat returned. When questioned, the captain of the boat explained how many of the boats were lost in the ocean due to violently flowing currents. The captain explained how he narrowly escaped being drowned by a massive whirlpool and was able to sail home.
Upon hearing this news, he was more obsessed than ever. I know what went wrong, he told Musa. We weren't prepared. We didn't have enough ships. We didn't understand the ocean. Musa begged him not to go. Please, stay here. Rule your kingdom. Forget about the ocean. But Abu Bakr couldn't forget. He wouldn't forget. He built another fleet, this time even bigger. 2,000 ships, 60,000 men. He loaded the ships with gold. So much gold that the ships sat low in the water, because Abu Bakr believed that when he reached the other side, he would need money to trade with whoever he found there. His advisors begged him not to go. My king, you are needed here. Who will rule Mali if you leave? Abu Bakr turned to his younger brother, Musa. Musa was quiet, smart, responsible. Everything a good king should be. You will, Abu Bakr said, placing his hand on Musa's shoulder. If I don't return within 2 years, the throne is yours. Rule well. Musa didn't want the throne. He wanted his brother to stay. But he could see it in his eyes. There was no stopping him. Be safe, brother, Musa said quietly. Abu Bakr smiled. I'll bring back stories that will make you wish you came with me. Then he boarded the lead ship, gave the signal, and the fleet set sail. All of them sailing west, into the unknown. The people of Mali stood on the shore and watched until the ships disappeared beyond the horizon. And they waited and waited. But the ships never came back. Not even one survivor made it back. 2,000 ships, 60,000 men, all of them swallowed by the ocean.
So, what really happened to Abu Bakr II and his fleet? There are many theories. Some historians believe they were caught in a storm and sank. The Atlantic Ocean is dangerous, especially near West Africa, where the currents are strong and unpredictable. Others believe they reached the Americas. Yes, the Americas. Some scholars think that Abu Bakr's fleet made it all the way to South America, almost 200 years before Christopher Columbus. There's actually some evidence for this. When Columbus arrived in the Americas, he found native people with African features. He even wrote in his journal about seeing black-skinned people trading gold. Could they have been descendants of Abu Bakr's crew? We'll never know for sure. But what we do know is this. Abu Bakr's obsession gave his brother, Mansa Musa, the throne. And Musa became the richest man in history. He expanded the Mali Empire even further. He built mosques, universities, libraries. He made Mali the center of learning and culture in the world. When Musa went on his famous pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324, he brought so much gold with him, 60,000 men carrying bags of gold, that he crashed the economy of Egypt for 10 years. That's how rich he was. But every time people praised Musa, he would think of his brother, the king who gave up everything to chase a dream, the king who sailed into the unknown and never came back. Some people call Abu Bakr II a fool, a king who abandoned his people for a fantasy. But others call him a visionary, a man who dared to ask, what if there's more?
Today, over 700 years later, we still don't know what happened to Abu Bakr II. His ships are lost, his men are gone. His story is buried somewhere in the depths of the Atlantic Ocean, but his legacy lives on. Mansa Musa became the richest man in history, but Abu Bakr II, he became a legend, the king who looked at the edge of the world and said, I wonder what's beyond that, and then sailed straight into the mystery.